One of the most exciting things to come of E3 is the announcement that a Final Fantasy VII Remake is in the works. Some of us have been pining for this since way back in the days of the PlayStation 2, so we can't wait. But as we know, technology and times have changed, so we wonder what they'll keep or improve on. We have a couple of suggestions that Final Fantasy VII can do without. Wanna know what? Watch our video! Before we get started though, don't forget to click that subscribe button to keep up to date with all of our awesome videos here at The Gamer. Number 10. Genesis. The compilation of Final Fantasy VII was a multimedia franchise made up of video games, movies, and books. It was intended to expand the universe of Final Fantasy VII and tell other stories within the game's world. And what a world it is. By far, the worst thing to come out of the compilation of Final Fantasy VII is a character named Genesis Rhapsodos. He's a former member of Soldier who is friends with Sephiroth and Angeal Hewley, Zack Fair's mentor. It's revealed throughout the compilation that Genesis was the secret architect behind many of the events of Final Fantasy VII, despite the fact that he's never mentioned in the game. But why wasn't he ever mentioned? Genesis is a total Mary Sue character. His appearance is based on a Japanese rock star named Gact, who game designer Tetsuya Nomura is a big fan of. This is why Genesis is the most important character in the Final Fantasy VII world and was even brought back to life by God because he's just that great. Talk about idolizing rock stars, right? The Final Fantasy VII Remake needs to scour this awful character from the series for good. Number 9. The optional status of Yuffie and Vincent. Two of the party members in Final Fantasy VII are entirely optional. You never need to hire Yuffie, and you don't have to awaken the mysterious Vincent from his slumber in the Shinra mansion. The vast majority of the fans sought these characters out as they were mentioned in the manual of the game. But how necessary are they in this game really? Due to Yuffie and Vincent's optional status, they never have any important part in the main story of the game. They're only used for a few unique side quests, Wutai and Lucrezia, but they're never really seen in any of the FMVs of the game. The other titles in the compilation of Final Fantasy VII have confirmed that Yuffie and Vincent were involved in the quest to stop Sephiroth, which is kind of a big deal if you ask us. Which means their appearance in the Final Fantasy VII Remake should be mandatory and should be part of the main plot of the game. They deserve more than a side quest, don't you think? With that being said, if Yuffie is going to be a main character, then maybe they should change her role in the game. Number 8. The Pleasant Planet. Did you know that Final Fantasy VII is an allegory for environmentalism? All life on the planet returns to the world upon death and is reborn as something new. The Shinra Corporation has discovered a way to refine this energy into a fuel source, which is used by people all over the world. This means that they are literally turning the souls of the dead into electricity. Spooky cool stuff, right? Final Fantasy VII starts out in the city of Midgar. It's here that we see the after effects of Shinra's work, as the air is polluted and plants won't grow within the boundaries of the city. Midgar is a living testament to the damage that the Shinra Corporation is doing to the environment. The next location you visit after Midgar is the town of Kalm, which shows no effects of pollution. Almost all of the other towns in the game are generic fantasy locations and look nothing like Midgar. The Final Fantasy VII Remake needs to give players an idea of how much damage the Shinra Corporation has done to the world. This means that the other cities need to be strongly affected by the declining environment. Number 7. The Supernova animation. Fun fact for all you gamers, Final Fantasy VII was the first 3D game in the series. Pretty cool, right? It blew everyone away at the time of its release, as 3D visuals were still a relatively new thing. Squaresoft seemed to be enamored with the extra dimension, as many of the attacks in this game had lengthy animations. Hey, we get it. New technology is and can be very exciting and fun. The summon monsters in particular took a long time to play, with the Knights of the Round taking over a minute to finish its animation. Fans didn't mind at the time, as they were still so impressed by the quality of the graphics. The summons haven't aged well, however, and new players might be disappointed by the inability to skip these animations. The longest attack in the game belongs to the final boss, Safer Sephiroth, who can use his Supernova attack, which destroys most of the solar system before it hits the party. This attack takes over 2 minutes to play out, and Sephiroth can use it multiple times during the final battle. The attack itself is fine, but its animation needs to be severely shortened. Number 6. The placement of the snowboarding minigame. The death of Aerith may be the most emotional moment in video game history. After witnessing one of his closest friends and potential love interest being murdered, Cloud Strife has to give her body to the water and watch as she descends into the depths. Just try to hold the tears. This scene is often cited as the moment when video games grew up and ascended as a serious medium. So, what do Cloud and his friends do to get over the death of their friend? Well, they do what any of us would do. They decide to do a 180 on the slope and shred some ice, dude. That's what you do, right? After Aerith dies, the party needs to snowboard down a mountain in order to reach the Great Glacier. This minigame is actually fun, but it needs to be moved further away from the powerful and emotional scene of Aerith's death. The contrast between burying one of the most beloved characters in the game and Cloud performing tricks on a snowboard as he tries to hit balloons that are floating in the air is far too great. We know lightening the mood is sometimes necessary, but this is a bit too much and borderline insensitive, wouldn't you agree? Number 5. The Chocobo breeding side quest. If you didn't know, Final Fantasy VII began development before the internet became commonly available in homes across the world. By the time Final Fantasy VII was released, it was easy to find complete strategy guides for every quest and activity in the game. In fact, Squaresoft used to make a lot of money from strategy guides, which is why some of the important side quests were almost impossible to figure out without help. The most annoying side quest in Final Fantasy VII is the one that involves breeding chocobos to make a gold chocobo. Yeah, you heard that right. In order to do this, you need to know how certain breeds of chocobo work together. You also need to know where to find a Xehanut, which can only be found by defeating a certain kind of enemy in an obscure location on the world map. It is possible for chocobo breeding to be fun, as was proven with the excellent Chocobo Hot and Cold game in Final Fantasy IX. For the remake, Square Enix must know that all of the game's secrets will be revealed in online FAQs within minutes, so they may as well make the remake version fun too. Number 4. Carry Armor. In our opinion, Carry Armor is one of the most annoying boss battles in the entire Final Fantasy series. Do you agree? Players encounter the Carry Armor during the sequence when the party is trying to track down all of the huge materia. This involves traveling to the underwater reactor in Junon, where there are submarines docked. Reno of the Turks uses one of the cargo loading robots to slow the party down. The Shinra Corporation really just needs to decommission all of its fighting robots and instead make an army of Carry Armors, don't you think? We mean, one of them almost managed to take down Cloud and his friends on its own. And that's saying a lot. The reason the Carry Armor is so difficult is because it has the ability to pick up and immobilize 2 of your party members. There's still a chance, but if it manages to kill the third party member, then it's game over. You essentially have to win the whole battle with a single party member, which is why many fans want it out of the remake. This is just too hard to go at it alone. Number 3. The Hojo Beach Party. Professor Hojo might be the most despicable character in Final Fantasy VII. Jenova and Sephiroth at least have biological reasons for why they kill so many people. The Shinra Corporation executives are motivated by greed, but at least they stepped up and tried to stop Sephiroth and the weapon monsters when they became a threat. Professor Hojo, however, is on a whole other level than these other baddies. Hojo performs sick experiments in the name of science and is responsible for destroying the lives of many of the characters in the game. At one point in Final Fantasy VII, the party has to travel across the ocean to the resort town of Costa del Sol. When they get there, they find Hojo partying on the beach with a couple of bikini-clad babes. But why? This scene is so completely out of character that it's almost funny. The disturbed professor is acting out his own episode of Baywatch on the sand. Apparently, Hojo enjoys drinking pina coladas on the beach when he isn't experimenting on the genetics of ancient monsters. This scene would become even more uncomfortable if it featured voice acting, so it's probably for the best if it's left out. Number 2. The Terrible Ending. Okay, we know that there are several complaints about Final Fantasy VII, but we have to say that one of the most disappointing aspects of Final Fantasy VII is the awful ending. So what makes it so bad, you may be asking? Well, it's particularly bad because it's extremely vague and doesn't give a clear explanation about the fate of the cast, except for Red 13. The party defeats Sephiroth, which allows Holy to fight back against Meteor. It seems that Meteor is going to hit the planet until the life stream bursts from the ground and merges with Holy to fight Meteor. The two mighty forces struggle against each other, bright white light flashes, we see Aerith's face, and then the credits play. What? Is this The Sopranos? We need more! This is followed by a post-credit sequence where we see that Red 13 is still alive 500 years after the events of the game. We know what happens next thanks to Dirge of Cerberus and Advent Children, so there's no need for the ending of Final Fantasy VII Remake to be as unsatisfying as the original. The time has come to give Final Fantasy VII the proper send-off that it deserves. Number 1. Cait Sith's Scottish accent. Aside from the terrible ending, Cait Sith is easily the worst part of Final Fantasy VII. A mascot robot with a cat on top just stands out like a sore thumb, even in this fantasy world. Luckily, he's only mandatory for a few scenes before you can dump him out of the party forever. Thank goodness. Advent Children and Dirge of Cerberus managed to make Cait Sith even more annoying by giving him a horrible Scottish accent. His brogue is about as convincing as Fat Bastard's accent in the Austin Powers movies. Thankfully, Cait Sith doesn't talk much in Advent Children and Dirge of Cerberus, so the fans aren't tortured too much. The Final Fantasy VII Remake is going to feature voice acting for all of its scenes. If we have to listen to Cait Sith's awful Scottish accent throughout the whole game, then the remake will be doomed to failure. There's just no saving it. In the event that Cait Sith does have a Scottish accent in the remake, annoyed fans will just have to wait for the Final Fantasy VIII Remake. Squall might have been a jerk, but at least he didn't say much. Well, there you have it. These are some things we would like to see omitted from the game. So what do you think? Is there anything you'd like to see improved or omitted? How about something you'd love them to keep? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like and share our video. And while you're here, check out more awesome videos from the Gamers playlist. Thanks for watching!